Good evening, scholars. Welcome to the Kemet Maasai Academy. Wow. We're running late because I had some technical difficulties that I'm not even sure if I've resolved them as yet. I'm not even sure if they have been resolved, but we'll see. Oh Lord, we're about almost half an hour late. Good night, Andreen or Andriana. Yanis, good night. Shaheem, welcome. I am unable to share. Hold on, let me see. Oh, so it decided to start working tonight. Okay. If you ever knew the trouble I was having, if you guys ever knew the trouble I was having with this link, that's why we're starting so late. Hi, Amoy, Leo, Lyric, welcome. Wow. Can you see the link? Because I've been having such a time and a half trying to get this link to be shared. You guys can see the link? All right, so we can finally get started. Can you hear me, guys? Okay.
Hi, Miss.
Hi, good night. I was having such a time, I'm telling you. Oh, it's finally working. I see.
It's a link to come in the studio, Miss.
Yeah, it's finally working. I was here for like half an hour trying to get this link to be shared.
Miss, I just look on it and got to go to the studio, Miss.
Okay, all right. So everybody good then. All right, so let me see now. So I have Shaheem, Nathan, Shalicia, I have Genesis, and I have Nordica so far. Welcome to those in the chat as well. All right, so let's go because we're very late.
Miss, 2 minutes late, Miss.
It's not 2 minutes late. What time now?
Miss, it is 6:54.
And what time we're supposed to start?
We're supposed to be starting by 6:30.
So are we 2 minutes late?
No, Miss. Miss,
Okay.
No,
Miss.
We had lots of
20 minutes, 24 minutes late, Miss.
Exactly, we are very late. So we better stop the talking and do something. So let me see now. So I need to share my screen. That's what I need to do. I was almost in a panic. Hold on. Hold on. I was almost panicking, thinking that I can't have class this evening. Because, Lord have mercy. Lord.
Miss.
I had to shut down my laptop, so right now I have to be searching back for everything. So hold on. Hold your horses.
Miss.
Yes.
Miss, you logged me. Miss, you was logging a while ago, Miss.
I was lagging.
Yes, Miss.
I'm trying to find back the paper. So you guys have to go give me some time Somebody better start tell some jokes in the meantime.
What do you call a fish with no eyes?
A fish with no eyes. I don't know.
Mr.
What do you call it?
Mr.
A what?
Mr.
Okay, I get it. I get it. Why didn't I think of that? I should have known that one. So I can't find back the paper. Where did I save it?
Miss, you tell one no, Miss.
No, sir, I can't tell no joke. No, man, try to find the paper.
Okay, somebody nice to there then, Miss.
And I've got to tell some more joke. Oh, I think this is it. Hold on, let me see. I think I found it. Go and tell one next joke that you put stuff.
Shaim. Shaim can tell a joke, Miss?
Me, Miss? No, Miss.
Time don't know the joke.
Miss them still, Miss.
Time joke them stiff. Don't shy him.
Yes, Miss. Miss them get old now, Miss.
Right. Shy him joke them stiff. You need some new material. I think
Yes,
Miss
Miss.
Nardika,
Yes,
Miss?
Nardika.
Nardika jokes still, Miss.
Nardika, you know jokes? Can't tell? Alright, she says it's too short notice. She can't think of any right now.
Yes, Miss. Miss, they were funny before, Miss. Now them just still.
Okay. Alright, can you see the paper now?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
So we're good to go. So let me see now. Do you remember what number we left off yesterday? Question what?
Miss, I think it was the one that you have your arrow on, Miss.
We left off at 24.
Miss 24.
Continuing at 25. All right, so the skills that we're supposed to develop here are to analyze and interpret data and compare. So we're to look at the pie chart below, and it shows the categories of waste collected from Jamaican households. So the pie chart below shows the categories of waste collected from Jamaican households. So I have a close-up of it. So let's study the pie chart. So we have wood and grass clippings, that's 37%, food waste, 16%, plastic bag, 15%, solid plastic, 15%, textile glass, no, textile is 10%, glass 4%, and metals 3%, right? So now, who is the first one I have on my list? Shaheem.
Please.
So please read question 25.
Yes, Miss. The National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, has suggested that portions of the waste that can decompose should be composted. What percentage of the waste should be composed? The Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, has suggested that portions of the waste that can decompose should be composted. What percentage of the waste should be composted? A 16%, B 37%, C 53%, D 47%. A 16%, B 37%, C 53%, D 47%. Use data in the graph. Recheck your calculations. Use data in the graph. Recheck your calculations.
All right, so put your pencil to the book now and do some calculation for me. And when you're ready, let me know.
Miss,
Yes.
Miss, can I go back on the diagram, Miss?
Give me 1 second, please. Somebody's telling me that they're not seeing the live on YouTube. I'm just double checking. It's there. I don't know. Give me a second. Let me just share this. All right, so we're there. We're live. All right, say I wanted to go back to the diagram.
Yes, Miss.
All right, that's the diagram. And what are they asking us to find?
Miss, which percentage should be composted, Miss?
So what percentage of the waste should be composted? What do they mean by that?
Miss, compost is something used to fertilize plants, Miss.
So normally when we're composting material, what does that material have to be like? Can we
Miss,
compost
food,
anything?
Miss?
Anything can go in the compost?
No, Miss.
What does it have to? What kind of stuff would go in the compost?
Miss, food, Miss. Food can go in there, Miss.
Most foods, not even all foods.
Miss, food peelings, Miss, like bananas, Miss, banana skins, Miss,
Vegetable
mango
peels,
skins.
fruit peels.
Yes, Miss.
So basically, it has to be things that are organic, things that can break down easily.
Yes, Miss, like solid plastic. Them they can't go in there, Miss, because them not moving.
So you have your answer. Everybody have their answer.
Yes, Miss.
Shaheem, what's your answer?
I don't.
You don't work it out yet. Nathan,
Miss say A, Miss.
A 16%.
Yes, Miss.
Or anybody else? Jacinth is saying C 53%. Anybody else? How did you
Right.
Nathan?
Yes, Miss.
How did you come by the 16%?
Miss, because Miss, I know what a compost bin is, Miss. I already see a lot of them, Miss. So, Miss, I know what should go in a compost bin, Miss. Wood
So
chippings and
what you added to get the 16%?
yes, Miss.
What you added?
Miss, I added to get the 16%.
Here.
Textile.
What is textile?
Me forgot. I forgot.
Textile is like cloth.
Oh, my last one.
Like fibers, cotton, and so on. So what are we adding? Can we put metals in the compost?
No, Miss.
No, Miss.
No, miss.
Can we put the textile?
No, Miss.
No, Miss.
Some textile can go. Cotton
Yes,
can
Miss. Some of them.
all natural fibers can decompose. Can we put solid plastic?
No, Miss.
No, Miss.
Plastic bag?
No, Miss.
No, Miss.
Waste?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss.
All right. So we're adding up the 37 and the 16. So what do we get?
Miss, my answer is C, 53%.
All right. We can't. I wouldn't say the textile.
Oh, grass can go in, Miss. This
Some
grass and
textiles
wood chippings can go in.
Some can't. Some textiles are natural fibers and some are not.
Yes, Miss, because some of them make out yeah, Miss, when we get from tree, Miss, they can make cloth out of tree, Miss. Cloth.
Yes, some are natural fibers, but it just said the textile. It didn't separate them. So then we're gonna go with the 53, right?
Yes, Miss.
Which is the wood and the grass clippings and
And the food waste.
Food waste.
All All right.
Cranberry. Yes,
That's
miss.
what we're going with.
Yes, miss.
Nathan, it's gonna be your turn.
Yes, miss.
All right. So, question 26: analyze and interpret data and draw conclusions.
Okay.
Please read.
A student conduct an investigation on the a student conducted an investigation on the effect of
Effect.
fertilizer
Effect.
on the highest what you said, miss?
Effect, not affect. Effect.
Effect of fertilizer on the height of red peas grown over a period of 4 weeks. The students' results were placed on the chart below.
Again.
A student conducted an investigation on the effect of fertilizer on the height of red peas grown over a period of 4 weeks. The students' results were placed on the chart below.
All right. So read the bottom of the chart for me, Nathan.
Choose the letter to show whether the following statements are supported or not supported based on the result of the investigation. Choose the letter to show whether the following statements are supported or not supported based on the result of the investigation.
All right. So here we have a chart, and on the x-axis we have the amount of fertilizer in grams. On the y-axis, we have the height of the plants in centimeters as they grew,
25.
and it's the effect of fertilizer on plant height. So it's 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, okay. So this is showing the different amounts of fertilizer.
To get to that height.
Okay. And this is the height of the plant.
So from 0 to 5 with 10, it takes 10.
So this means if zero fertilizer is used, right?
Yes, miss.
If
That's the
no
normal height of red
fertilizer,
peas, miss.
right? So this will be the control, right?
Yes, miss.
Nothing is done
So,
here, right? And that's how high it grew. This is 5 grams of fertilizer. That's how high it grew. This
miss,
plant
almost 15 inches, miss.
10 centimeters. This
Miss,
plant
10
was
centimeters
growing
is
10
15,
grams.
miss.
Pardon me?
Is
10, right?
15 centimeters, miss.
10 to 15, 15 to about 22, thereabouts.
Yes, miss. Probably,
No,
miss,
not
probably
22.
in
No,
between, miss.
my bad. Not 22, about 17 and a half,
Yes,
roughly
miss.
17. All right, so
Miss,
we can
20
take the
would
readings.
get you to, miss, probably little over the set, miss, about 18 and a half, miss.
Yeah, about that. All right,
Miss,
Shalicia, hold on, Nathan. Shalicia, please read what's on the screen.
Choose a letter to show whether the following statements are supported or not supported based on the results of the investigation. Choose a letter to show whether the following statements are supported or not supported based on the results of the investigation. 1. Plant height is not affected by the amount of fertilizer. 2. Increasing the amount of fertilizer will always increase plant height. 3. Fertilizer amounts over 25 grams will reduce plant growth. 1. Plant height is not affected by the amount of fertilizer. 2. Increasing the amount of fertilizer will always increase plant height. 3. Fertilizer amounts over 25 grams will reduce. Look at each statement carefully. Is the statement supported by the graph? Look at each statement carefully. Is the statement supported by the graph?
I think I got it.
What do you say, Shalicia? And by the way, let me welcome those in the chat. I'm seeing Antoine, I'm seeing Jacinth. Miss Reed is there. No, Miss Reed isn't here yet. Leo, remember guys, those in the chat,
Good night, Miss.
good night, Amari. Those in the chat, remember when you're posting your answers, let us know which number. Shelly said, did you say you had your answers yet?
Miss, I think 1 would be not supported.
All right.
B.
So let's do them one at a time. So A is for supported and B is for not supported. When we say that the thing is supported by the information, what does that mean?
Miss, it mean it's factual, Miss, like.
It's factual, right? Or we can go back and find information on that. Given
But
us.
I think I got it, Miss.
What do you say, Nathan?
Miss, I said number 1, Miss, is B, Miss. No,
All right.
Miss, number 1.
Miss?
Miss, number 1 is B, Miss. Miss, I think number 2 is
Hold on, we
A,
don't
Miss.
for 2 yet. Hold on, one at a time. Shaheen,
Excuse
what
me,
do you
Miss.
say for number 1?
Miss, I was asking if you could zoom in a little bit, Miss.
To zoom it in. Zoom it in. Let me see. Can see better?
Yes, Miss. Thank you, Miss.
All right, so what do you say for number 1? Plant height is not affected by the amount of fertilizer. Is that supported or not supported? Based on the chart, did we see a difference in the height of the plants based on the amount of fertilizer given? Or did they all stay the same height?
No, Miss.
They change, right? Depending on the
Yes,
amount of
Miss.
fertilizer, they change. So we would have to
Yes,
say
Miss.
it is B, that is not supported, right?
Yes, Miss.
And for number 2, increasing the amount of fertilizer will always increase the plant height. Let's go back and check. If we increase the amount of fertilizer, does the plant height keep increasing?
Miss, I got that one, Miss.
What you say, Nathan?
Miss B, Miss.
So you're
Miss,
saying that's not supported. Anybody else?
Miss, you want to know the reason why I said B, Miss?
Why do you say B?
Just because the short said that if you put 0 fertilizer, it would be that amount, Miss. If you go up to 20, it would be that amount, Miss. But when I go to 25, it would be that height, Miss. But when you go to 30 fertilizers, it is shorter than the 25, Miss.
That's correct. So it reaches a maximum height when we give it 25 grams of fertilizer, but then it starts to decrease. The more
When
you
it
give it
get
after
yes,
that,
Miss.
the shorter it gets, right? So that's B also not supported. And number 3, fertilizer amounts over 25 grams will reduce the plant growth. What are we saying for that?
Miss A.
That one is supported, as we just said. If you increase the fertilizer over 25 grams, the plant growth will get less.
Ready. Yes, Miss, because the chart shows, Miss.
Yeah. So see there again, once you pass 25 grams,
It
the
goes
height of the
lower and
plant
lower.
starts decreasing.
Chart.
So it's not like you can keep giving it fertilizer and it's going to keep getting taller and taller and taller. There is a point after which, if you give it more fertilizer than 25 grams, you'll get less yield. The plants will be shorter. All right, so we can move on. Let me get back my slides in order. Get them back in order. Okay. And 27, analyze and interpret data and predict. What does it mean to predict?
Miss Pretty, what is going to happen? It's like when you
Find the
try
word
to guess
before
or
you
something.
find the word.
before it happens, miss.
You can't say to predict means to predict what's going to happen. Amari, what do you
It's
say?
like to guess
It is
what
to
is
miss
going to
it is to think about what is going to happen, miss, or it is to know what is going to happen by while trying to figure it out, miss.
Okay, you might think you know what's going to happen, right? So you're guessing or you're stating this is what will happen. So remember, Nathan, when you're given the definition of a word, it's
Yes,
not
miss.
wise to use the same word in the definition. Try to find other words, right?
Yes, yes, miss.
So,
Hmm.
question 27. Genesis, can you read question 27, please? Is Genesis still there? We lost her.
Miss, why don't you make
Yes, miss, I think she
Alicia
got
read this?
kicked off.
Okay, we lost Genesis. Let me see if I can find her back. Are you back, Genesis? All
Miss,
right.
it don't look so, miss. Make Alicia read this?
Oh, I know
Maybe.
what's happening. Okay, I know what's happening. Let me check some. Um, Nordica. Nordica, are you there?
Yes, miss.
Nordica,
Yes, miss.
can you read question 27, please?
Okay, miss. The body temperature of different animals in hot and cold environments are shown in the table below. The body temperatures of different animals in hot and cold environments are shown in the table below.
All
Yes.
right. And I also want you to,
Yes.
so we're
April.
looking at the table. Go ahead, Nordica, read that table as well.
She come.
Who is singing? Who is singing when we're doing some serious thinking here? It's not singing time. Nordica, go ahead. Table showing.
Table showing body temperature of animals in different environments. Table showing body temperature of animals in different environments. Name of animals: snake, bobcat, fish, rat. Name of animals: snake, bobcat, fish, rat. Animal body temperature Celsius. Cold environment 10 Celsius. 10 38
Degrees Celsius.
degrees Celsius. Thank you. 10 38 10 38. Animal body temperature degrees Celsius. Cold environment 10 degrees Celsius. 10 38 10 38. Hot environment negative 30 degrees Celsius. 30 39 30 38.
I
Hot
don't think it's
environment.
negative there. I think it's just a dash to show.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Hot environment 30 degrees Celsius. 30 39 30 38. Hot environment 30 degrees Celsius. 30 39 30 38. A student placed a snake and a rat in an environment at 25 degrees Celsius. Which body temperatures are th- are they most likely to have after a few days? A student placed a snake and a rat in an environment at 25 degrees Celsius. Which body temperature are they mostly like to have after a few days?
Okay, so which temperature are they most likely to have? So what's happening here? What is the table showing?
This is showing the different animals at different temperatures, like cold and hot
All right, so we took the snake and we put the snake in a cold environment. So this environment was at 10 degrees Celsius. The snake's body temperature was the same as the cold environment. The bobcats was 38 degrees Celsius. The fish was 10 like the environment, and the rat was 38. When we put them in the hot environment, which is 30 degrees Celsius, the snake was also 30 degrees, the bobcat was 39 degrees, the fish was 30 degrees, and the rat was 38 degrees. So, what are we noticing about the snake and the fish?
Yes, they have the same things, miss.
Their body temperature stays the same as the environment that they're in. Do we notice that?
Yes, miss.
temperatures.
For the snake, it takes the temperature of whichever
Excuse me,
environment
miss.
it's in. Yes, Nathan?
In 12 minutes, I'm gonna get kicked out, miss.
Why? Yeah, why? The data? All right, well, you've participated a lot. So let's make the best use of those 12 minutes. So I'm noticing that the fish and the snake, they will take the temperature of the environment that they are in. I'm noticing that the bobcat, it's 38 even in the cold environment, it's 39 in the hot environment. The rat also 38, 38. So they seem to maintain their own body temperature regardless of the environment. Does anyone else notice that, or do you notice something else?
Miss, I noticed that, miss.
Everybody else sees that?
Yes.
So, what do we call animals? What term do we use to refer to animals who are able to maintain a constant body temperature regardless of their environment?
Miss, fish, miss?
What term do we use to describe
Oh,
animals who can maintain a constant body temperature regardless of the environment that they're in? Humans are like that too. Most mammals are like that. We call them warm blooded. We're warm blooded. Animals who have a hard time regulating
miss,
their
it
body
just
temperature.
gave me a warning.
Okay. Animals like reptiles,
Rabbits,
fish, they have a hard time maintaining a constant body temperature. They tend to take the temperature of their environment. They are called cold blooded. So then, we're talking about the question is asking about the snake and the rats. So based on what we just said, what do you think will happen to the snake and the rats? So I'm going to ask Amari to read the options for us.
Okay, miss. A student placed a snake and a rat in an environment of 25 degrees Celsius. Which body temperatures are they most likely to have after a few days? A. Snake 20 degrees Celsius and rat 25 degrees Celsius. B. Snake 25 degrees Celsius and rat 38 degrees Celsius. C. Snake 37 degrees Celsius and rat 25 degrees Celsius. D. Snake 38 degrees Celsius and 38 degrees Celsius. A student placed a snake and a rat in an environment at 25 degrees Celsius. Which body temperatures are they most likely to have after a few days? A. Snake 20 degrees Celsius and rat 25 degrees Celsius. B. Snake 25 degrees Celsius and rat 38 degrees Celsius. C. Snake 37 degrees Celsius and rat 25 degrees Celsius. D. Snake 38 degrees Celsius and rat 38 degrees Celsius. Examine the results in the table. What patterns do you see? Use the patterns to make a prediction. Examine the results in the table. What patterns do you see? Use the patterns to make a prediction.
All right. So what do we predict? Will the snake's temperature remain or get more? Will the rat's temperature remain or get more or what?
Miss.
Than the
Miss, I
environment?
got Miss.
I want to know the prediction that we're making based on what we found here. Are we predicting that the snake will have the temperature of the environment or a higher temperature? Are we predicting that the rat will have the temperature of the environment or a higher temperature? What are we predicting?
Miss. Miss.
Nathan?
Miss, I'm predicting Miss question B, Miss, but I don't know if I'm right or if I'm wrong, Miss.
You're predicting option B. Now answer that question. Will their body temp whose body temperature will stay like the environment and whose body temperature will be different? The snake or the rat? That's what I'm asking. Based
Because the reason why I chose B, Miss, is because on the chart, Miss, it said rat in a cold environment it stays the same temperature, but in a hot environment it stays the same temperature. So
the
that's how
rat.
I got the yes, Miss. And the
Okay.
snake, no, Miss, because he puts a snake in the snake is in a 25 degrees, 25
Mm-hmm.
25 Celsius degrees Celsius, and the snakes on the chart this it shows that the snake's body temperature, right, what, the snake body temperatures change, no.
According to the environment. So this environment here is 25 degrees,
Oh, I'm wrong.
right? So the snake will tend to take
Miss, I'm
that
wrong, Miss.
temperature. It's correct.
Miss, you
You're
correct, Miss?
yes. The snake will take the temperature of the
Oh, that.
environment and the rat will maintain its body temperature because the rat is a mammal, it's a
Oh,
warm-blooded animal. The snake is a cold-blooded animal. So it will take the temperature of its environment. So the answer is B. All right, Jair, can you read question 28, please? We're supposed to analyze and interpret data and identify patterns. Jair, go ahead.
Question 28. A student wants to find out how how the temperature of water affects the time it takes a sugar cube to dissolve in water. He doesn't he does the experiment 3 times at 4 different temperatures. He uses 1 sugar cube each time at the same volume of water. The results are shown in the table.
You know that we read it twice, right, Jair?
Yes, Miss. Question 28. A student wants to find out how the temperature of water affects the time it takes a sugar cube to dissolve in water. He does the experiment 3 times at 4 different temperatures. He uses 1 sugar cube at the same volume of water. The results are shown in the table.
All right, so let's see. So the student wants to see how the temperature of the water affects how quickly the sugar cube is going to dissolve. So let's see now. This is the table showing the time taken for sugar cubes to dissolve at different temperatures. All right, so it's 3 experiments, test 1, test 2, test 3, and the temperature of the water 30 degrees Celsius, 40 degrees Celsius, 50 degrees Celsius, 60 degrees Celsius. Is it getting hotter or colder as we go up?
Miss,
Miss Hotter.
hotter, miss.
Hotter.
Hot.
So which one is hotter, the 30
Hotter.
degrees Celsius or the 50 degrees Celsius?
50, miss.
Miss,
Miss 50.
Okay.
miss when it goes, miss it, miss when it goes, miss when it goes lower, miss it's getting colder, miss when it goes higher, it's getting hotter.
All right, so for each test, the sugar cube is placed in the water. And this is the time that the cube takes to dissolve completely in the water. So when we put the sugar cube in a 30 degrees Celsius tube, this one takes 10 minutes, this one takes 9, this one takes 11.
Miss on 19 minutes and 11 seconds, miss.
In minutes. 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 11 minutes. This when we raise the temperature to 40 degrees, the sugar cube takes 8 minutes to dissolve. 8 minutes in test 1, 8 in test 2, 9 in test 3. 50 degrees Celsius, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. 60 degrees Celsius, 6 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. So what do we notice? The hotter the water is,
The
Miss the slower it gets,
dissolve.
no, the less
miss the
time
faster,
it takes, the
miss the
faster it
faster.
dissolves.
Miss it melt faster.
Yeah. The more we increase the temperature or the hotter the water gets, the less time the sugar cube takes to dissolve. Everybody is in agreement with that?
Yes, miss.
Study it and see. When we increase the temperature, it takes less minutes, fewer minutes for the sugar to dissolve completely. Is it Jananda?
Miss, it's Janardo.
Janardo?
Yes, miss.
Janardo, could you read this question, please?
Which statement best describes the pattern of the results? A. The more water used, the shorter the time taken. B. The higher the temperature, the longer the time taken. C. The more water used, the longer the time taken. D. The higher the temperature, the shorter the time taken. Which statement best describes the pattern of the results? A. The more water used, the shorter the time taken. B. The higher the temperature, the longer the time taken. C. The more water used, the longer the time taken. D. The higher the temperature, the shorter the time taken. Look for patterns. Compare how quickly the sugar dissolves at different temperatures. Look for patterns. Compare how quickly the sugar dissolves at different temperatures.
All right, so what are we saying? Which one are we going with for this question?
Miss,
Remember what we said?
Miss, I would say B.
miss, I have my
So
answer,
see,
miss.
look at it again.
Miss, I have
See,
my answer, miss.
when we increase the temperature,
Yes.
what happens? What do you say, Amari?
Miss, I have D, miss.
D. Any other answer?
D, miss.
All right. So over in the chat, they're saying, which question was this again? 28.
Yes, miss.
All right, guys in the chat, type the the number of the question, please, and the letter. So it is D, because remember we said the more you increase the temperature, the less time it takes. So the higher the temperature, the shorter the time taken. All right, so we're at 29, and I'm going to ask some students to wait backstage. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold on, I think we can roll. Pure.
Like,
Nice. Can you read the
yes,
question?
yes, miss.
Read the question on the screen, please.
Alright, miss.
Question 28,
Alright, miss.
29.
Question 20. Investigated the habitat preferred by wood ice. They set up a
Wood
choice
light.
chamber with four sec.
Wood lice.
They set up a choice. Oh, wood lice. Oh, wood lice. They set up a chamber with four sections W, X, Y, and Z, representing different habitats for the wood lice. A class investigated the habitat preferred by the wood lice. They set up a choice chamber with four sections W, X, Y, and Z, representing different habitats wood lice.
Okay. So there's the diagram. We have 4 different habitats for the wood lice. And these are the wood lice, little creepy crawlies. All right, Shaheem, back to you.
Miss, I
Any
am here, Miss.
comments?
I am here. Okay. The class released 20 woodlice into the chamber and counted how many woodlice were in each section after 5 minutes. These are their results. The class released 20 woodlice into the chamber and counted how many woodlice were in each section after 5 minutes. These are their results. Section W. Description: dry and light. Number of woodlice 2. X. Damp and light 5. Y. Dry and dark 3. Z. Damp and dark 10. Section W. Description: dry and light. Number of woodlice 2. X. Damp and light 5. Y. Dry and dark 3. Z. Damp and dark 10.
Okay. Um,
What conclusion can the class make from the results? What conclusion can the class make from the results? A. Woodlice prefer dark habitats. B. Woodlice prefer damp habitats. C. Woodlice prefer dry habitats. D. Woodlice prefer the light. A. Woodlice prefer dark habitats. B. Woodlice prefer damp habitats. C. Woodlice prefer dry habitats. D. Woodlice prefer the light. Compare the number of woodlice in each section. What is similar about the sections that had more woodlice? Compare the number of woodlice in each section. What is similar about the sections that had more woodlice?
all right, so let's go back to the chart. So we had 2 wood lice where it was dry and light, 5 wood lice where it was damp and light, 3 wood lice where it was dry and dark, and 10 wood lice where it was damp and dark. So What do you think the woodlice prefer?
Miss the
Let's look at the options again. What kind of habitats does the woodlice prefer? What you say, Shaheem?
Miss they prefer the Miss the damp and dark. Miss.
Look at the options.
Oh.
Do they prefer mainly dark, mainly damp, mainly
Miss,
dry, or
Miss, can you
mainly?
go back up to the diagram, please? Okay. Yes, Miss. I got my answer.
What's your answer?
Miss, I say damp.
Which letter?
Miss B, Miss.
All right. Anybody else? What do the woodlice seem to prefer? What kind of habitat does it prefer?
Miss, may you go back to the table, please?
Pardon me?
May you go back to the table?
To the table.
Yes.
There we go again. So we have to look at the numbers. The numbers will tell you because the more woodlice go to that place, that means that's what most of them like. Am I right?
Yes, Miss. Miss, I have my
Yes,
answer, Miss.
Miss.
What you say, Amari?
Miss, I have my answer, Miss.
Go ahead.
Miss, can you please go on the thing again so I can see which letter it is, Miss?
Just a minute. That? That one?
Yes, Miss. Miss, I would say damp, the dampness.
Is anybody saying anything other than B?
Yep. No, miss.
No,
Do we
Miss.
Wait.
agree?
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
Pure, what do you say? What's your choice, Pure?
Pure your mic off.
Miss, you hear me now, Miss?
Yeah.
Miss, I said B. What lies for damp habits? Habit habitats, Miss.
B, you said? B, damp habitats?
Yes,
Is that
Miss.
what?
That is it.
All right. So it's unanimous. We're
Miss,
all agreeing. And the damp habitats, see, 10 of them go where it's damp and dark. 5 go where it's damp and light. So the dampness, wherever you see damp, you see the most numbers, right? So they definitely love damp conditions. They love damp conditions. All right, so let's go on. Questions 30 and 31 were to analyze and interpret data, predict and draw conclusions. All right. Janardo,
Yes, miss.
read that for me, please.
A student investigates friction by pulling a block and recording the force needed using a force meter. The results are shown in the table below. Use the information to answer items 30 and 31. A student investigates friction by pulling a block and recording the force needed using a force meter. The results are shown in the table. Use the information to answer items 30 and 31.
All right. So let's see the table.
Table showing the
Hold
force.
on, hold on, Janardo. Jair, read the table, please. Jair?
Table table showing the force needed for different surfaces.
A little louder, please.
Coming Table showing the force needed for different surfaces. Surface. Tabletop 2.5.
And that's the
Paper
force
towel.
force needed in newtons.
Paper towel 2.8. Fine sandpaper 3.0. Rough sandpaper 3.3. The table showing the force needed for different surfaces. Surface force needed. Tabletop 2.5. Paper towel 2.8. Fine sandpaper 3.0. Rough sandpaper 3.3.
What's the unit being used to measure the force, Jair?
In Newton, miss.
All right. Amari, go ahead. Question 13.
Yes, miss. What is the conclusion for this investigation? A. Force move objects on different surfaces. B. Force stops objects from moving. C. The rougher the surface, the greater the force needed. D. The smoother the surface, the greater the force needed. Analyze the information in the table. What pattern can you find? Question 30. What is the conclusion for this investigation? A. Force move objects on different surfaces. B. Force stops objects from moving. C. The rougher the surface, the greater the force needed. D. The smoother the surface, the greater the force needed. Analyze the information in the table. What pattern can you find?
So is the tabletop smooth or rough, generally?
Miss Roughness?
Tabletop, by comparison to the paper towel,
Miss, it
which
would
one
be
would be smoother, the tabletop
Miss the tabletop, miss.
and the sandpaper? Do you know what sandpaper is?
I think so, miss.
Yes, miss.
Sandpaper is very rough. It's something that they use to sand down or to smooth down furniture and other things.
Miss, or like metal.
Yeah, you can use it to rub on things. It's very abrasive. So we have the fine sandpaper, the rough sandpaper. So we're getting rougher and rougher as we go up, right? From the
Yes,
tabletop
miss.
to the paper towel, the fine sandpaper. So what do we notice with the force that's required? Is it getting
Mr.
less or
Starting
more?
increase. Mr.
Is it getting
Increasing.
less? It's increasing.
Yes,
So
miss.
then,
It's
as
getting
the object
more,
gets
miss.
rougher,
Yes, miss.
as the object gets rougher, we need more force to move it. Am I correct?
Yes, miss.
So which option would we go
Yes,
with then?
miss.
C, miss. C, miss.
C, right? The
Yes, miss.
rougher the surface, the
Miss.
greater the force needed. Right. The rougher the surface, the greater the force. Or pure, question 31.
Question 31. Oil is added to the tabletop. Which prediction will likely take place? Oil is added to the tabletop. Which prediction will likely take place? A. The force needed will be 2.0. B. The force The force needed will be 2.6. C. The force needed will be 3.1. D. The force needed will be 3.4. A. The force needed will be 2.0. B. The force needed will be 2.6. C. The force needed will be 3.1. D. The force needed will be 3.4.
So what are they saying that we're altering the tabletop? We're changing it in some way by adding oil. So what does oil do to surfaces in terms of how much friction there is? Does
Miss
oil increase the friction
Miss,
or lessen the friction?
Miss it increase the friction.
Miss,
Does
please increase the friction, Miss.
oil lessens the friction?
Lessons, miss.
Oil reduces the friction. When you put oil on
Miss,
something,
because miss
you
it
will
will,
slide, don't it?
yes, miss, it will run smoother,
Friction
miss,
is
'cause it's,
less. Yeah.
miss, it's
So,
liquid, so it would go smoother.
mhm. So oil actually reduces friction. So anytime you want to lessen the friction on how things rub against each other, you can put oil. That's why they oil the machine parts so that they run smoothly over each other
Miss, I
and
have
don't
my,
have so much friction. So do we expect then that more force would be needed for the tabletop or less?
no, miss, less, miss, I have my answer, miss.
Less. Miss.
So what was the original amount for the tabletop? Let's see.
Miss, it was 2.5, miss.
2.5. All right. So now what are we saying?
Miss 2.0, miss.
Anybody
Miss, I have
else?
my answer, Miss.
Miss, I
Oh,
would say the force needed will be 2.0.
all right. Do we all agree? Anybody differ? So we're saying placing the oil will
No,
reduce
Miss.
the
It's
friction. Yeah, and therefore we need less force. So it's 2.0, that's A. And that's the last question. There are some reflective journals that the students, remember this was a student workshop that the Ministry of Education had last year, and the students were asked to reflect on the questions. So I'm going to ask Shaheem to read these reflective questions. Just read out.
Reflective, yes, miss. Reflective journal, part 2. Challenge. Answer the questions below as honestly as you can. You can write answers in your journal or learning portfolio to share with your teacher. What aspects of the task did you find most challenging? Which tasks were easy to complete? Which quantitative reasoning category do you need further help with? Reflective Journal Part 2. Challenge. Answer the questions below as honestly as you can. You can write answers in your journal or a learning portfolio to share with your teacher. What aspects of the task did you find most challenging? Which tasks were easy to complete? Which quantitative reasoning category do you need further help with?
All right, so each person tell me what aspect was most difficult for you.
Miss, Miss,
Go ahead.
Miss. The aspect that was most challenging was the quantitative reasoning.
They're all quantitative reasoning. Which one of the questions you found most difficult?
The one with the pie chart.
The one with the pie
Pie
chart?
chart. Yes, miss.
Okay. Anybody else? What was the most challenging part for you?
Miss, miss, it wasn't that challenging to say something was really challenging, miss. But
Okay.
miss the one that you would have to do, miss, you would have to really think about, miss. I think it's the one where it says the one about the compost, miss. Miss, that's the
Compost
only,
pie
miss,
charts
it wasn't
as
hard.
but you had to do more
Yes,
thinking.
miss, it wasn't hard, miss. Miss, it wasn't hard at all, but if it asked me that, miss, that's what I would say, miss, because nothing was really that hard, miss.
Oh, okay. All right. And I'm seeing the answers over in the chat. For question 30, so Miss Reed was saying C for 30, and that oil increases the, oh, she's saying it makes it slippery. And question 31A. All right. So Miss Reed always over there bringing up the rear over in the chat. Okay, so Gabby is saying tomorrow is the PEP. Yes, we know, Gabby, tomorrow is the big day for the PEP ability test. So those who are going to do their ability test, we're wishing you all the very best. And we want you to be confident, and we want you to go into that ability test and mash it up. Mash it up, right, Gabby? No need to get jumpy, as Bob Marley would say. No need to get jumpy. There's another little part to this. Hold on. There's another part that says it's a checklist. It's a checklist to see. I can. So at the end of this workshop, you would have been able to use information to make calculations and solve problems, analyze and compare data in tables and graphs, identify patterns in results, use patterns in results to make predictions, and use data from investigations to draw conclusions. Would you be able to tick off each of those things?
Oh, miss.
Which ones you would not be able to tick off?
Miss it.
Based on the charts given, remember you have to analyze them, you have to compare the data, look for the patterns, if any, and make predictions. We were making some predictions just now, right?
Yes, miss.
This is what you're required to do in the PEP ability test, the quantitative reasoning. You have to
Miss,
study the diagrams and charts, yeah, and you have to
miss,
make predictions and analyze. Yes, go ahead.
miss, I could tick off 3 of them, miss.
Three
Miss
out
the,
of the five.
yes, miss. Miss the first,
Which two you wouldn't take?
miss the one with the analyze and compare data in tables and graphs, miss, and the use data from in, miss, I didn't draw any conclusions, miss.
So would you take not sure or not yet?
Miss, I would put not sure.
Not sure. All right. Well, it's a process. It's a process, right? And that's the reason why we do these activities and we focus on certain areas. We want to sharpen our skills. That's the reason for doing it. So we are at the end of our we're at the end of the class. Those who are going off to your PEP exam tomorrow, wishing you the best again. Wishing you the best. Yes. And just give it all you've got. Give it your best shot. right? All right. So take care. We're going to do another ability test tomorrow. Even though I know it's the exam, but we're still gonna do another ability test. And then and those who do the exam, you can come back tomorrow and tell us how it was, how it went, and what you had challenges with, and what was easy peasy like breezy. And then next week, we're going to focus on the curriculum based tests and the performance tasks, right? So we took the ability test, we're going to tuck it away because we'll finish it with it for now. And we're going to turn our focus on the curriculum based tests and the performance tasks. So get ready to build those skills. All right, scholars, adios, hasta luego, hasta la vista, sayonara, all of that.
Bye, Miss.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Adios, miss.
Bye,
Bye,
miss.
Miss.
Take care, guys. See you tomorrow.